Yo, it's me. You probably don't know who I am, but that's besides the point of the video. This video is about Jong, the John Wick of Lookism. Really, the whole inspiration behind this video is just to lay out some of Gun's features, as in a future video I will be doing the same for Go, so I can compare the two in a better way with some of their best feats already set. Gun has had many appearances in the storyline, but for the sake of this video not being 12 hours long, I'll only be stating some of his main strength feats and explaining his fighting prowess in addition. To begin with, Jong Gun, also known as the White Ghost, is a gang-affiliated mass murderer. He's not really gang-affiliated, he just finds himself running gangs, destroying them, and replacing them with new ones to make a living and enjoy himself. Gun's first appearance in Lookism was in the Festival arc, in which Crystal Choi bought Daniel. Sounds a bit wrong, but you know. Gun's existence in the Festival arc, in my opinion, was the only thing that made that arc bearable. Honestly, I wasn't really a fan of the Festival arc until Gun whooped Daniel's ass and showed Vasco some levels. It was really the first hint in the show at there being some really strong characters, and it not just being an ordinary manhwa with a generic bullying plot. And although this plot completely disappears later, I think it was for the better as it gave us the Lookism that we have today. Gun made some small appearances in some of the following chapters, but none of them were really significant other than the fact that Gun was stated to be the same age as the seniors, 18 years old, so he should be about 19 by now. Gun's appearance in the Yuntae Lee arc was very rare, but it was significant as this was the arc where Gun and Go's meeting was shown. He also fought Jake Kim in the illegal Taro arc. Maybe I shouldn't say he fought him, he just practically bullied him, both verbally and physically. Anyway, I think I've given Gun enough of an introduction, so it's time to start mentioning some of his feats. Gun has taken many victims as the story has flown by in Lookism. One of these is Johan Song. Johan, also known as the leader of God Dog, a former member in the four major crews, was a poor kid whose mom was running a barbershop while simultaneously dealing with severe eye problems. To get to the point, Johan was extremely good at boxing, a champion in fact, and he also possessed the ability to copy others' moves just by seeing them once, an ability the main character also has. So for Gun to whoop Johan's ass in such an effortless manner was one of Gun's most badass feats. This was followed up in the Eli Jang arc, when Gun was being gangbanged by the four of Eli Jang, Warren Che, Max, and Derek. After a short period of getting smacked around the canvas, Gun proceeded to put the old hostel into a blender, showing extravagant mastery of literally just Aikido. I mean, it took him a third of the chapter to have the four of these men laying on the ground, virtually unconscious. I think the main point in the series that really could seal the deal in the Go vs Gun debate is the Gun vs Ultra Instinct Daniel Park fight. After a little bit of guilt-tripping, proposals, and telling Daniel Park that he was basically not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal, trust me. You're not that guy.
And that what he was dealing with was child's play, the four major crews, Gun made the grave mistake of beating Daniel Park's ass. This is because after getting Daniel into an unconscious state, he now had to fight someone who had mastered practically every combat move he had seen. This fight was not shown completely to us. What was mainly shown was Daniel Park showing feats of Muay Thai, boxing, Taekwondo, and Kyokushin Karate, which is Gun's best martial art, and some scenes of Gun being ironically aroused, as he was about to get his ass beat. And then the shot pans to Daniel sitting above Gun, who was laying on the ground with a broken arm, about to meet his maker. Had Daniel not woken up at this exact moment, we probably would have never seen a glimpse of Gun again. Well, other than maybe his funeral photo. One of the main points in the series that Gun had showed actual combat feats and mastery of a martial art in was in the Gun and Go versus the Black Bear gang fight, in which both Gun and Go were 16 years of age. The fight began with Gun eating his cucumber, and then some of the members of the Black Bear gang approaching Gun with knives, which was followed up by him lying about being intimidated. He then used Tonfas, which I'm not really familiar with Kyokushin Karate techniques, I only do Taekwondo, but he practically used this technique to defend himself from the five guys that were approaching him with knives, which in and of itself is a crazy feat of using weapons, so when he mentions that in comparison to Go he's not experienced with weapons at all, really shows that Go is some type of demon. He continued to use these ski sticks to barrage some poor men, until he was approached by some guy by the name of Dong Chul, who attempted to jump him with an axe and decapitate him right then and there. Although, this guy was also overpowered by Gun's ski sticks, and the Black Fraud gang was taken down by 16-year-old Gun and Go. Honestly, after reading this fight for the first time,
I'm gonna come.
Anyway, as for Gun's last major feat that I will mention in this video, again, not his last feat, it's the last one I'll need for the Gun and Go debate, Gunn mentioned in chapter 438 that he was stronger than the entire first generation. Now, whether you would like to take his word for it or not, I personally would, seeing as though this is Gunn we're talking about, not some random fraud gang member. Anyway, I hope that's enough proof for you that Gunn is the John Wick of Lookism. I have to go now as I'm extremely constipated.